What's the number one mistake you think new agents should avoid?
Working with buyers. No, it's trying everything and not committing to one thing. That's the number one mistake.
That's good.
Like,
well, how would they know? How would they know what to be committed to if they don't try everything?
That's a really good question. Or the number one would be have a coach so you don't have bad habits. That's probably the number one.
Ooh, I like that one. I didn't mention that one. Okay. Have a coach so you can avoid bad habits. Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. What is it today? It's Thursday. I just got to the office. In today's video, we're going to be talking about things that you should probably avoid when you're a new agent. That you should probably avoid is spend too much money on marketing. I'm not saying that you shouldn't spend any money. Obviously, real estate is a business. You need to invest a little in order to, you know, get some result and make money, but don't spend too much on marketing. What I'm talking about is mostly two things. One, buying leads. Two, buying exposures. Because you're so new, you don't really know how to turn a lead into a transaction just yet. So you don't really want to spend too much money. For example, as Zillow Premier Agent, they're extremely expensive for one lead. And usually you pay per month. They make you sign a 6-month contract. So I've paid a Zillow Premier Agent for like $600 to $1,000 a month just for getting 30 leads a month. So pretty much 1 to 2 leads a day. And most of those leads are buyer leads anyway. It's just sometimes I get a lead, I have to learn how to qualify them. They're not the best quality leads. And then the second is you shouldn't really spend too much money on marketing for exposure, because a lot of $1 million producer agent will like turn their face on the bench or buying like a billboard. But those are, I don't think it's something that new agents should spend on. I think you should spend the most money for like invest $1 or invest in a real estate coach or invest in things like a good CRM, stuff like that. So next is to keep at least 6 months worth of reserve in your savings before you start being as a new agent. I learned this the hard way. I was literally so close to go complete broke my first couple months because the commission check just won't kick in. So I had to work with a bunch of renters just so I can get, you know, a couple $100s here and there. And that really took my focus from selling or working with buyers to renters. And it just kind of make my jump start later than it should be. But if I have about 6 months worth of reserve, I would just start focusing on the things that make you the most money instead of I was forced to work with, you know, renters. And then also keep in mind, usually a closing takes about 45 to 60 days. That's if you have a great buyer. You went to see a house the first day or the second day, you put in an offer right away. They have about 48 hours to decide, and you happen to have the listing agent give you the contract signed from the seller. So finger crossed, everything went good. Your buyer decide to, you know, put in the deposit. Now the house is in escrow, but then you still have to kind of go through inspection and make sure, you know, the negotiation went okay. Then after 45 days, you close on that house. So realistically, I will give about at least, you know, you have a first deal the first day you are a new agent. It probably gonna take you about 2 to 3 months to close on that deal. So at least save about 3 months worth of reserve. Last point that I do want to kind of add on to is this money costs a lot of paid upfront cost. Things like MLS fee. You gotta have a DocuSign, right? When you send a contract to have your seller sign. And then also you need to invest in your business card, your sign, your open house sign, all that kind of stuff. So these, you might be able to get help from your broker. I'm not sure all the broker will help. I know some companies don't really pay for agents' business card or like marketing or pay for agents like sign, but all these things are negotiations. So my best suggestion will be ask see if your broker can pay for it. If not, no big deal. Still waiting for my tea to be ready. Okay, so the next one, choose the wrong brokerage for the wrong reason. I know when I first started real estate, I wanted to dress sharp and sell luxury real estate and just get a big commission check real quick. Understand, in this business, money doesn't happen overnight, success doesn't happen overnight. So obviously, if you choose to sell luxury real estate, that's your personal choice. But usually, house price that's above average sale price usually take longer to sell. You are going to sell the most that you have, which is average house like sale price in Philly. It's 200,000 to 250. That's kind of what my most sale price is. So I choose the wrong brokerage for the wrong reason, and that probably took me a while to really get it started. But I mean, you make mistake and you learn. So here. Next, having a long-term and short-term strategy and plan. Here's what I'm talking about. Let's say if you are a new agent, you move to a new area, you're fairly new, no experience, right? You need to set up a realistic but somehow challenging goal. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna make $100,000 my first year in real estate. Calculate how many deals that is for you with your average sale price in that area. And then you need to calculate how many deals that you need to do for 1 month. So therefore, you kind of have to separate it out, like what your daily routine should be. Every 1 month, you need to do a evaluation. Like, how many appointments have I set? How many buyers have I talked to? How many new connections have I made? How many contacts have I made? You know, all these things, you gotta list them and keep track on the numbers, okay? I do have a video that I talk about my daily routines and how I was able to work 50 hours a week. I'm gonna link it down below for you guys, so go check that out. The next one I wanna talk about is asking for help. When I first started, I was so afraid to ask for help because I don't want to admit that, you know, I'm less than everybody else. I want people to think that I know it all, but to be honest, if you're a new agent, you're vulnerable and you do need help. So my best suggestion is to get a really good broker and ask your broker for help. But you need to do your own research first, understand the questions, what you are asking. Don't just ask them the first question come to your mind. You got to do your own research, really try to figure out, maybe you have an answer but you're not sure, then go ask your broker. If your broker is unavailable, I would suggest to make a really good connection with somebody who's in your office, maybe a top agent, see if you can ask them for help. But understand, top agents usually are super busy. Their time is so valuable. Make sure you really cherish their time and be very respectful, and also do something back in return. For example, if they have a new listing, offer to do the open house for them. If they have a new listing, somebody wants to see it, see if you can open the lockbox for them, stuff like that. So you gotta, you know, really show them that you're there to learn. I'm gonna give you guys an example. Yesterday, one of the new agent on my team, he came in to my office and I was doing my follow-up call, and he knocked. He's like, hey Luna, can I ask you for help? I was like, sure. And then he's like, I want to know how to do the Zillow review. Like, how do you request a Zillow review from your client that you closed deal with? And I was like, yeah, can you give me 1 second? I was like, give me like an hour, let me finish my follow-up call right here and then I'll come help you. He's like, okay, cool, no problem. So I really love that because, like, people can just drop what they're doing to help you right away, right? Like, for me, and my follow-up is the go-to thing that I have to do every day. Is the most important thing. So I need to finish my follow-up call, and if you can wait, just wait and I'll be there to help you. So I went there and I helped him. So just, you know, like, don't get upset if people can be there to help you right away. The office dynamic in a real estate office is very different than a corporation office or anywhere else that I've worked for. The relationship that you have with your broker is not a normal relationship an employee would have with their employer, because technically Joey is not really my employer. He doesn't pay for my health insurance. He doesn't give me salary, right? So when I work under a broker, it's mostly like I feel like I'm kind of his boss. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But so you guys understand, you know, it's a little different. But I am going to end my video right here. I've got to go back to make some follow-up calls, and I've had a listing appointment set 2 days ago. So I will check in with you guys in a little bit. If you watched until this far, make sure you comment fortune cookies down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.